Hi everyone, this is Lisa Jordan and I'm representing the Prom Night at Coveanant. Back in 2019, we started this journey having a prom for our special needs population here in Pitt County. And I can't believe this will be our sixth prom. We are super excited. Every year it changes and gets a little better with each year as our volunteers grow and as our population in attendance also grows. So we are super excited. This year's prom will be Friday, March 15th, and the prom time is from 6 to 9, and we're asking our volunteers to get here at 4:30 to help us with last minute arrangements and making sure that everything is picture perfect. So I wanted to just talk with the volunteers a moment about what is expected, what's going to happen during the night, where are some interest areas inside of the church. So up on the screen, I have a floor layout of what we plan to have at the prom. And so by sharing this, for those that aren't able to attend the training or for those that did attend the training and maybe still have a couple of questions about layout, this hopefully will give you a visual guide. And you can help direct people if they come up and have questions throughout the night. So I'll try to talk about all of the volunteer roles. As you can see, this is what is called Building A for Coveanant, right off of Quarry Road. And Building B is the building closest to Fire Tower Road. And Building B is where we're asking all the volunteers to park so that we can reserve the rest of the parking at Building A, where the prom is located, just for our special guests. And also the food team that is hauling in food from a food truck and that sort of thing. So at the top above Worship Center, you see the notation to please park across the street. We'll try to have a van shuttle going back and forth, but in case it's not running at the moment that you're trying to hurry up and get there to sign in that you have arrived, you may just simply walk across Quarry Road over to Building A. The volunteer entrance will be in the miniature circular drive. That's the drop and load entrance. As soon as you walk in, you will check in and let someone know that you have arrived so we can sign you off. That volunteer table will come down eventually after we have decided that all the volunteers have checked in and it may be moved off to one side. But right behind that are 3 buffet tables to help with the flow of traffic. That's an improvement from what we had last year. And then there will be tables represented by the blue circles. There's more tables than we have circles, but that just denotes that we have tables sitting there. You'll see there's a photo booth between the female and male bathrooms, that there is a permanent nurses station right there by the elevator wall. That you can always guarantee that a medical staff will be standing right there as floaters may be roaming the rest of the building. And then you'll see as you get closer to the bottom of the map inside of the lobby, the prom guides, we don't call them dates this year, we call them prom guides, and everyone coming to the prom will have a prom guide. This is sort of like a tour guide, and they make sure that you know where everything is, that they can help you with food to the table, and in some cases, the prom guides are acting as a date for that person, but we try to use the word guide in case someone brings their own date or their parents have to stay or staff have to stay with the participant due to medical fragile participants and that sort of thing. And so at the opposite of your check-in entrance is the special guest check-in entrance. And there we will have a group of tables that are set up to check in our special guests that will be in alphabetical order. And then off to the side on the right, there's a slanted table, and that's for group homes to come and check in, because it's harder to check those participants in alphabetical order, because in a group home you have 6 participants living there. To find all 6 names really fast in alphabetical order, it's just easier to group them by the group home that they come with. So they'll be able to choose that table if they do come in for a group home. And then Where you see the arrows, that is where the prom guides will be lined up. There will be 4 rows. 2 of the rows will be male. They'll kind of be hiding in that breezeway going into the worship center behind the doors. So we'll have 2 rows. One will be ages 30 and under and 30 and over for male, and then the same thing for the female. And then inside of the worship center itself, you will see that we have the dance floor noted right there in the center. The crowning event will take place at 8:30, and we'll talk about how we want everyone to be brought to that room starting at 8:15 so that they're in place for the 8:30 crowning. You'll see some more blue circles that denotes more dining tables, and you'll also see that there are 2 medical staff that will be floating the dance floor area as well as one that's floating in the lobby besides the permanent fixed one. Then if you'll go kind of to the right of your diagram, you'll see karaoke room is in 104, the same place it's always been. This is an extremely popular room, and there will be a line out the door of people waiting to go in this room. So we're super excited about that. Another popular room is the dog therapy room, room 115. And then the sensory room, for those that are a little overstimulated by the noise, the sound, the lights, the number of people. Sometimes they just need a little peace and quiet just for a moment, and then to come back out and enjoy the prom. And so we would have sensory therapists in there ready to help and assist in any way that they can if your participant becomes agitated or just needs that sensory room. You'll notice behind the photo booth in the center of the women and male bathrooms, there is a diagonal arrow. And so we'll be able to scoot around the photo booth for those that are in wheelchairs needing a table to lie on to get changed and cleaned up because they're not able to use the restroom facilities. Sometimes a special table is needed. And so you as a guide won't be changing their diapers or anything, but the parent or caregiver would want to know, hey, is there a place to change someone that's in a wheelchair? And so I just wanted to tell you where that is so that everyone would be able to help direct someone that is looking for that kind of room. The special guest check-in table that I was referring to earlier, I just want to let you know that that table will become the prom picture pickup table at the end of the night. So our photo booth and the karaoke room and the sensory room and the dog therapy room will all shut down a little early so that we will have everyone moving into the worship center at 8:15 for the crowning event at 8:30. The photo booth will be the first thing to close, and that will probably close around 7:30. So make sure that you have, and it may even close down at 7:15. So make sure that if you are a prom guide that you have absolutely made sure that they had a prom picture taken. I would prefer the prom picture be with the prom guide, but the parent or staff may ask, hey, I want one with them, and then I want another picture with you, and then I want another picture. All those pictures are fine, but we ask that they take them on their cell phone because the only one that will have time to get printed while they're still there at the prom is the one single 5x7 photo that we're going to give them at the end of the night. And I would love for that to be with a prom guide. So just encourage the parent or caregiver to take any additional photos with their cell phone. The parents and caregivers will be asked to go upstairs to enjoy a respite room. And the good news is that that respite room has a balcony at the top of the stairs that gets to overlook the lobby, so they can hang out up there and kind of from a bird's eye view see everything happening in the lobby area. The food that is being served in the lobby, we are reserving that just for the prom guides and the participants. And then any other volunteer, no matter what your role is, if you're parking lot, bathroom, sensory, karaoke, dog therapy, you're a dance floor floater, whatever you're in the food team, whatever your volunteer role may be, if it is other than a prom guide, we ask that you only eat from the food upstairs with the parents. This way it frees up the wait time downstairs in the lobby for our guests to be served. We're expecting around 200 of our special guests to attend the prom this year. And so you add the 200 guests plus the 200 prom guides to match up with them. Plus, for those that are medically fragile, they'll have a parent or staffer that never leaves their side as well. So potentially we could have 250 people roaming downstairs being fed from those buffet tables in the lobby. So as you can see, the wait time would just become crazy if all the volunteers were also in that same line. So please only eat from the upstairs. Don't abandon your volunteer role, your shift, wherever you are, but trade off with another team member and say, hey, I'm going to run upstairs for a second. Have you got my back? Can you cover me, and that sort of thing. And never leave your special guests. If you needed something arise and you had to break away from them, make sure that you're trading off with someone and that you come right back, because that person was excited to have you as a prom guide, and they don't want the feeling that they were too much and that you actually traded them later in the night. So please do come back to them. Also upstairs, we're going to have a place to set your keys and your coat and your purse and all that kind of thing that would be secure and away from everyone else. So there will be an attendant upstairs that you can ask them where is the private room that is kind of secretly behind everything, that you can drop your keys, coat, and purse for volunteering. So you can put it up there and it's safely, put away. We hope to have a medical staff also floating up there, but if they are needed, they may be downstairs more than they are upstairs. But you can always count on the stationary medical staff right there by the elevator wall in the lobby. So I now want to flip and let's pretend that it is 6 o'clock. Of course, our guests are going to arrive way early and they're going to be trying to get in the doors. I just want to paint a picture of what it's going to be like when they walk in. Of course, everyone will be in formal attire or the best, Sunday best. No flip-flops, no shorts, no casual wear at all. The only people that may have on casual wear is the breakdown team when they arrive later in the night. They don't have to have on formal attire to break down the prom. Let's take it from the guests have arrived at 6 o'clock. What happens now? The doors will be open. Our paparazzi will be outside of the church cheering them on, sort of like a pep rally, just full of energy, shouting their names, shouting how beautiful they are, telling them we've been waiting all night just for them to arrive. We appreciate them. They're gorgeous. They're handsome, all the above. They'll simply walk in the double doors. They'll get checked in. Our check-in team will hand them a floral lei that will act as a lanyard. That lanyard will have their name on the front. On the back will be a little information about that participant. Maybe it says they're nonverbal. Maybe it says they have an allergy to nuts. Maybe it says, hey, I'm in a wheelchair. It may say, hey, I like Legos, or I like superheroes, and that'll be a conversation starter for you. Also included in that lanyard will be a meal ticket that they can redeem for their dinner. They don't have to redeem that ticket to get water. Water comes free. It should be everywhere around the whole prom, inside of the dance floor area and the lobby area. Water is at any time, but the food for them will be redeemed by a meal ticket. They are welcome. So after they get checked in and they get that lanyard on, the Parks and Rec staff will be the ones in charge of matching up the guides to the participants. So you'll get matched up. You'll greet your guest and say, hey, you want to go get a prom picture? Go ahead and encourage them to go ahead and get this done first. But it is their choice on what they want to do. Just remember, we will close that booth around 7:15 so we can process all the pictures in time. But they may say, hey, I want to go to the karaoke room. Okay, go ahead and go. Get their name on the list, what song they're going to sing. Or maybe they encourage them to go to the dog therapy room. Ask them if they just want to check out the sensory room. Ask them if they want to go ahead and eat or if they want to go ahead and dance. They can do their night however they wish. Encourage them to take advantage of everything that there is to do at the prom. So if you are serving as a food volunteer, your attire is just a white button-down shirt and black pants. All right, it's kind of going to look like a waiter or waitress style attire. There's no reason for you to be in a formal dress serving food. All right, so that will just be what the men and women wear if you're in the food team. You may be asked to stand at the buffet tables and help dish out food, or you may be asked or traded off during the night to go and clean off the tables that were used for dining tables to make sure that they're clean for the next participant. Maybe you're asked to help carry someone's plate to their table because they're having trouble managing that and their drink and all those sort of things. So you could be used anywhere downstairs, or you may be a volunteer of food upstairs for the parents. And we are encouraging you to just be so friendly to everyone, as I know that you will be, and just remind the special guests of how beautiful they are tonight. If you are serving in the parking lot, and that is your volunteer role, I'm not sure if the weather is going to be hot or cold. You may have on a coat, you may not have on a coat. After you're done with the parking lot, you may want to come in and take advantage of everything that's going on at the prom. See that all the cars are safely exiting the parking lot. If you are a medical volunteer, your medical volunteer leader will be getting with you on what you're going to wear. Perhaps there's going to be like a red pageant sash around these people who are wearing scrubs so that they're easily identifiable and not blending in with another person wearing a prom outfit. If you're a prom floater, again, you're also in formal attire or Sunday best. Also karaoke room, sensory room, and dog therapy room. Everyone will be dressed up that is there. So only the food team is in the white shirt and black pants. And the breakdown team can be in casual wear when they come back to take down things. Also, the breakdown setup team could receive an email the Sunday before prom after church service. Sometimes the setup and breakdown team comes in and helps to take all the chairs out of the worship center and take out any fixtures that are not going to be needed during the prom hour. So your team leader will get with you if that service is needed from you this Sunday before prom. Otherwise, we will see you around 8:15 on prom night, and you can just stand in the wings and kind of observe from afar because you're in casual attire, waiting for that 9 o'clock hour when we begin to break down everything. The parents, like I said, and caregivers will be upstairs. They will have live stream of what's happening on the dance floor so that they feel like they're not missing out on anything, as well as they can overlook the balcony stairs to witness everything in the lobby so that they always feel included. But they'll have their own food up there and their own respite time and enjoying mixing with other families that they haven't seen in a while. I also want to point out that in case a participant does something like their language is bad or they touch inappropriately or anything like that, I just want to bring to your attention that, you know, we are old enough to have navigated life already to know what is acceptable and not acceptable. And I just want to remind you that our population is still learning this. They're still trying to process what is inappropriate and what's not. And so the behaviorists have asked that we use the words that is unacceptable behavior when they do something wrong, instead of a knee-jerk reaction of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that, that sort of thing. So they have asked that we just continue the vocabulary to be the same when we are around them and we're trying to correct something that they're doing. Obviously, you would look to a team member for guidance and for additional help to come over and help you if a situation does arise. But anyway, you can just say that is inappropriate behavior, and please, let's not do that anymore. I hope that this helps to identify some of the layouts of the church and where things are. And in case you're asked, where is this or how do I do that or whatever, that everyone is well informed. We look forward to this being our 6th year. I just want you to know that the ground is shifting and it's changing the narrative on how we see our friends and with special needs in our population and our communities. And I'm just thrilled to be a part of it. The impact of being a volunteer is incredible. It's unmeasurable. You will definitely see God's work being displayed through them. So take the time to pause in your day and stop and listen to them. They have so much going on in their lives with medically challenging situations. A lot of the time they had, health issues just getting there to the prom door. And so the parent or caregiver is just worn out already before the night can ever begin. So just remember that, and love and hug on our parents and staff. We thank you for volunteering. And if this is your first year, we hope it won't be your last. I'm sure you'll be addicted as I am, and you'll sign up every year. But let me just leave you with one good thought. Let's just remember that at the end of the day, our population may not remember anything that you've said to them all night, but I promise you they'll know how you made them feel. So make them feel like they are king and queen, because at 8:30 when they receive that crown, they don't even notice that their own friends have already received the same crown or tiara that night. They honestly feel like they have been made king and queen of the prom, and that's how we want to treat them, and our parents and caregivers too. So thank you again for volunteering, and we look forward to this night as much as anyone else.